Hey, yeah, some news from the shop. So I actually have to pause the work on the Telecaster because kind of out of nothing, I got I got a chance for an audition to play with a groove death metal band. That could be fun. They kind of semi-professional. They're pretty serious. Um, so I have to practice a couple of things until next week. And the thing is, they play in standard B, and my Ibanez guitar is tuned to standard E or drop D. And in order to get it down to B, I have to restring it, which means I have to widen the string slots in the nut. So we kind of do a little setup video here, and for filing down or widening the slots, you gotta protect the headstock a bit with some tape, just in case I slip with the file. And yeah, so. And yeah, I also have to practice a lot, so it means I won't find time this week to keep on working on the Telecaster anyway. I do have a standard set of nut files, which is 10 to 46, the strings I usually play on my other guitars. And on this guitar, I'm going to use a 13 to 62 set of strings. And so what we're going to do is to actually start for the lowest or for the highest string with the 30mm file, which is usually for the second string, and for the low E, or in that case low B, just gonna have to use something else. So the idea is basically to just widen the slots instead of making them deeper, because the factory setting for the action on the guitar is already quite low and pretty comfortable, and I don't want to risk any fret buzz. So we just carefully going through the slots here without applying any pressure. And we got to maintain this kind of downward angle. So the nut slots should not be flat, because you would get some buzz then, like on a sitar. So it needs to, the nut kind of needs to follow the break angle of the strings. That looks about right. Yeah, so we're still above first fret. Looks good. So 17. right? So this will go on like for the next 4 strings. So for the low string, I'm just using this small round file. That should do the trick, I guess. Yeah, looks about right. So, just kind of give the slots a bit of a V shape on the top, that little square shape file. So I hope the strings will slip in a bit more easily. So while we edit, we got the strings off, decided to give the board a bit of cleaning and care with some lemon oil. So to remove some of the grime and re-moisture the fretboard a little bit. The oil won't last that long, but it will take some care of the fretboard. It's a good chance to do it now. Bringing back the shine, removing the grime. I mean, this is not a very precious instrument anyway to start with, but expensive enough to take a bit of care. Won't hurt. So maybe a few words about the guitar itself. So this is a Ibanez RGRT421. The cool thing about this guitar, and you've already seen that, is the reverse headstock. It's like the coolest feature you find on metal guitars or hard rock guitars. I find it super cool. Like when I was a kid and I listened to 90s new metal back then, bands like Korn or something, they had those Ibanez guitars, the 7-strings, the K7. You maybe heard of them. And sometimes they had this reverse headstock, and I always thought that's the coolest feature you can have on a guitar. And the really cool thing about this guitar is actually, it's a neck through construction. So the neck is made of 5 pieces of wood. I think 3 pieces of maple and 2 walnut, I think. And the sides of the body are glued to the sides. So you get this long piece of laminated wood going all the way from top to the bottom. And you get a string through construction, and which gives the guitar quite good sustain and tuning stability. And also you get this super easy accessible neck on the high notes. The whole neck is quite wide. It's a modern neck. It's a very modern neck. It's 42 millimeters at the nut, and it gets this modern kind of D shape. So it's a very fast and very comfortable neck. Of course, to the super long scale length, it's a 24 fret guitar. You need to stretch your fingers a lot, but you got a lot of space on the fretboard. So quite comfortable, quite easy to play. The electronics are not that much to talk about. Got a master volume, master tone, 2 humbuckers and a 5-way switch. And in position 2 and 4, you get this out of phase sound, which I don't really use and I don't really like. But yeah, beside that, the tone of the guitar is pretty forward. It's like a real workhorse guitar. It's not super versatile, but it can do a lot of stuff, and you get a lot of output with gain on both pickups, and even the clean sounds are pretty decent on that guitar. So yeah, as I said, pretty solid workhorse guitar. Probably give the neck some the body some polish here as well. Usually it's hard to get between the pickups with the strings on and take advantage of the restringing. The color is called Worn Black, I think, and you can see the grain through the color. It's not really matte or satin, but it's not glossy either, which makes the neck quite comfortable, because it's painted, but not this high gloss finish like you find on a Les Paul. So it's kind of satin a bit, and so it's very fast, very smooth. It's not like that I have the abilities to play that guitar or to get like everything out of that guitar, because this is for fast players playing shred solos or that kind of stuff. So yeah, as I said, I'm gonna set this up to B, and the band, they're actually looking for a rhythm guitarist or a second guitar, and so it's gonna be low notes most of the time anyway. And groove death metal is actually not that fast, so maybe I'm able to do this. I'm gonna try my best. So I put the strings on off camera because stringing guitar is really annoying, at least for me, and I'm pretty sure the technique I use is debatable. That would probably spark a discussion on the internet, how to correctly string a guitar. I got it strung up to tune, and I'm gonna let it sit for a while, because with the figure strings, there's way more tension on the neck now, so the neck will bow inwards, like towards to the body. So yeah, we're gonna check the the relief in the neck later with a notched straight edge, and then we do some action adjustments, and maybe we have to reposition the pickups a little bit, and yeah, then I hope she's good to go. So yeah, the guitar got some rest, and I just checked the tuning, and as expected, the tuning went down, and if we put on that notched straight edge here, we can actually see that the neck developed some bow. Gonna correct that a little bit. I mean, it's completely okay to have a little bit of relief. So let's see if we can correct that. Japanese guitar. That'd be 5mm. I don't know. Guess it's 4. Yeah. So we tighten up that neck a little bit. Just a tiny bit more. Yeah, I think that's good. Of course, the tuning is higher now. It will take some time and some further adjustment in the near future to get it fully settled. Let's see if we have some buzz there. Yeah, we got fresh strings, so they have this buzzing, but that will off. That will wear off quite a while. So I can close that one. So we have to. So I think the action is good. Maybe have to do a little bit of adjustment on those little bridge saddles here, and I definitely have to check the intonation. So with the figure strings, the intonation won't fit. Yeah, that's way too high now. Gotta check the intonation of the guitar and playing position anyway. All right, we're almost good to go. All right, on to intonation. So some of you might know how that works. Some of you might not. So the thing is, like from the nut up to the 12th fret, you got one octave, like 12 half-step tones. And from the 12th fret all the way to the bridge, you got another octave. And to basically get them harmonic or get them in tune, you have to adjust the length between the 12th fret and the saddle of the bridge. So if you play a B and it's in tune, and then you on the open string, and you play the 12th fret, in that case, that's all. It's already pretty good. So don't have to work much on that one. So let's check the E string. Open strings in tune. Okay, the E is a little bit sharp. That means the string needs more space, more length. So we can lengthen that by adjusting a little screw. So it comes a bit more towards the end of the body. So now the string is obviously higher because we put some tension on this, but we can tune it down now. So open strings in tune again. Still a little bit sharp, but we're getting closer. Yeah, that's pretty much on point. So this will go on for another 4 strings. And once that is done, we can plug it into the amp and see how it sounds. I'll also raise the action on the lowest string a little bit to prevent buzzing. Oh my god, almost like playing bass. This is gonna be fun. Okay, of course we're gonna do a sound check on the guitar tuned down to standard B. So, just to give you an impression, so that will be a standard E minor chord on a normal standard E tuning. And that will be a B minor. Was just the normal gain channel of the amp. And something I would like to try is a Rodenberg Commander, which is actually a bass distortion pedal. And I think that gives the guitar kind of like a pretty cool stoner rock sound, or stoner metal. Standard tuning on an Ibanez RG. Wow, this is really bad. Thanks for watching.